Hello everyone and welcome in today's video with me, Miss Rahel. Now in today's video, we're going to be talking about macroeconomic sectors of an economy. As you remember, in the previous video, we have been talking about different sectors of an economy. Whereas in today's video specifically, we're going to deal with macroeconomic sectors. Now the macroeconomic sectors are there are four basic macroeconomic sectors of an economy, namely or called the household, business, government, and external sectors. So we have four macroeconomic sectors. We have household اللي هي الأسر، قطاع الأسر. We have business، قطاع الأعمال. We have the government، قطاع الحكومة. And external، والقطاع الخارجي. Now these sectors reflect four key macroeconomic functions and are responsible for four expenditures on a gross domestic product. Each sector has a unique role to play in macroeconomic activity. Let's start with the first one, which is the household sector. Now in the good markets, the household sector acts as a buyer. يعني في سوق السلع the household sector قطاع الأسر acts as a buyer يعني كمشتري. They consume يستهلك goods produced by the business sector يعني يستهلك المنتجات اللي ينتجها البزنس sector ولا قطاع الأعمال. Meanwhile in the factor market ولا في في سوق العوامل the household supply factors يعني this sector يوفر عوامل like what? Like labor, capital, land, and entrepreneurship. In return, في المقابل, they get income from wages to interest, profits, and rent. Then they use it to buy goods and services or to save money. The second sector, which is the business sector ولا قطاع الأعمال. Now the business sector represents the producers of goods and services in the economy. هنا نهضروا على الإنتاج. Now they may be proprietorships, partnerships, corporations يعني قد يكونوا مؤسسات خاصة, شراكات, and corporations, شركات. Now to produce goods and services, they buy inputs in factor markets. يجيبوا مدخلات من الفactor markets اللي حكينا عليهم in the previous sector, which is land, capital, entrepreneurship. Yes. Then they sell output in the goods market to earn income, okay, to earn profit, money. Now business sector investment spending represents the most volatile component of the GDP. Its change usually causes economic growth to tend to fluctuate in the short term. يعني الإنفاق الاستثماري في البزنس sector قطاع الأعمال represents the most volatile components يعني هو العنصر الأكثر تقلبا of the GDP of the GDP. Its change يعني التغيير تاعو usually causes economic growth what? To tend to fluctuate يعني يسبب في تقلب economic growth in the short term على المدى القصير. Now let's go and see the third sector, which is the government sector. This sector affects resources allocation and production by imposing laws and regulations يعني فرض قوانين that force decisions that might not be made otherwise on the rest of the economy. This sector provides public services and regulates several economic activities. The government collects taxes from the business and household sectors to finance the expenses, okay, to finance expenses. Now, if the tax revenue إيرادات الضريبية exceeds the spending يعني تتجاوز الإنفاق إذا كانت الإيرادات تتجاوز الإنفاق the government runs a fiscal surplus راح يكون كاين فائض الموازنة and if the expenditure exceeds the revenue إذا كان الإنفاق يتجاوز الإيرادات. So the government operates a fiscal deficit يعني عجز الموازنة. Now the foreign or external sector, which is the fourth and last sector. Now this sector is comprised of everyone and everything outside the political boundaries of the domestic economy. يعني يتكون من كل شخص وكل شيء which is related to outside like the political boundaries يكونوا خارج الحدود السياسية. Now it includes the household, businesses and governments in other countries يعني في بلدان أخرى خارج الوطن. Any residence, business or government of another country is part of the foreign sector. This sector interacts with what? With the domestic economy through foreign trade يعني عن طريق التجارة الخارجية and capital flows. We might find the exports and imports when we talk about external sector. So the exports اللي هما الصادرات represent the external sector's demand for domestic goods and services يعني هو طلب تاع external sectors قطاعات الخارجية واش للdomestic goods and services يعني للgoods والservices السلع والخدمات المحلية. Meanwhile في حين the imports واللي هما الواردات represents the domestic demand طلب المحلي طلب for goods and services produced by the external sector يعني الطلب للgoods and services اللي نتجوهم ولا اللي تنتجهم القطاع الخارجي. So على هذا نسموهم واردات the imports. Well, that's all for today. Thank you so much for your attention and see you in the next video.